Hi, thanks for joining today. We're going to be doing an off the mat session. I'm going to show you in Design Space how to make it big, how to cut the file, and that way you can do it on your own. So, okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to upload. Now, I've already uploaded the image. I did buy this cow from Etsy. So what you would do is once you purchase it in Etsy or anywhere, any file that you get, you would download it. And just remember where you downloaded it to, because when you go to upload image, you need to find the file. Once you've uploaded it, it will be here for you to select. I'm just going to highlight it and then insert the image. So let's do this at 30 inches, which is what I always do. I find that it's a great height. It's perfect for party decor, the dessert table, and it's a great size in comparison to the little kid. Mine is 4.5 years old, so this is big. She needs to hold it with both hands, and it just looks great. And it's a good amount of cardstock, not too much, not too little, and it's, it's just a good size. So now that we have it at 30 inches, it's 30 inches high and the width is about 23 inches. So it's really large and I don't like to scroll up and down. So we can go over here and we can just reduce it to 25%. So we can still see the image. It's still a nice size, but you don't have to scroll up and down. So as you know from using Design Space, that these colors are just, it doesn't matter because when you send it to the mat, you put down your cardstock or your vinyl in that color. I do like it because it's a visual reminder of what it should look like, and it helps me organize, how I'm going to cut which colors I'm going to use and such. I'm debating between making this a brown cow or a black cow, but you know what? Because I always do a black outline, let's just stick with this exactly the way it is. So what we're going to do is let's go to ungroup it. What I like to do when I'm doing off the mat is I always do the background layer first, so that's going to be the outline. So I ungroup everything and I just move things over. As I'm moving things over, I'm also kind of taking a peek as to what I'm going to need to cut. Like this white file, let me put it back so you can see it. It's a lot of white. And so when we pull it over here, you can see that basically this white is in, it looks like it's 3 pieces. This ear is one piece by itself, the eye is one piece, and then this gigantic third piece is all connected. It's the body. So right away, I know, first of all, it's 30 inches long, so we're going to have to slice it up. It's also 23 inches across, so I think what we're going to have to do is probably slice the head and then slice this in half later on. But let's pull this back to kind of give us an idea of where things are. And this is the other reason why I like to use glitter cardstock is it helps hide the seams. In this case, I really don't think that there's much we can do here. I mean, I think we're just going to have to slice it down the middle and then push it up against each other and tape it down really well. I think with the glitter cardstock that it will be fine because there's not much else that we can do, okay? All right, so that's that one layer. This is and this is 12 inches too. My goodness, we're gonna have to slice this a little bit. And just taking a quick peek at that, there's really no good place to slice that thing. I guess what we can do is, I think that's the only other piece. So I'm sorry, this is the first time that I'm looking at this file, so I'm almost wondering if we should, just for the sake of the nose, let's just put everything back. Let's make this a little bit smaller, okay? So let's select all, and I know it's not completely even, but because we're selecting all, it's going to shrink in proportion to everything, so which is good. So let's take this a little bit smaller and let's see what we have now. Okay, perfect. So this is now 11 by 6 inches. So that's going to cut on 1. We still have the issue with the white, but the white is so big that there's no way that we can reduce that size and still keep it off the mat and all of that. So, okay, now we're good. This piece is good. That means this piece is good. This white we need to work with. The black, of course, is good. Let's see. We're just moving everything over. And this is going to be so cute when it's done. Basically, my daughter is having a fundraiser. It's farmer's market. We're doing a photo booth. So I'm going to use this one. This will be a prop for all the, preschoolers. It's going to be super cute. I'm also using Hey Hey and Pua from Moana because even though they're on an island, those are farm animals. So I've already done the video for that, so you can see that. But I will piece it together and you'll be able to see that on my Instagram pictures of that. So I think I'll look really, really cute, all 3 of them together. All right, we have our background layer. Right now, it's 21 inches across and 27 inches high. So there's no way that the Cricut can cut that, even at, 12 by 24, you can't do that, right? So let's go and make it where we can cut it. So we're going to start slicing. What you're going to do is you're going to do a square, and let's make this 11 inches by 11. And let's duplicate. And basically we're going to get these 2 flush up against each other. So I'm going to use the position feature and just use round numbers because I don't want to make any mistakes here. So let's just go to 9 and 3. These are just coordinates like you did back in math in 6th grade. You're going to take this square and move it kind of close just in the vicinity, and it should be fine because that will give you round numbers up here. We can just round up. So here for position, we can go to 20 and go to 3, and it should be flushed against each other. Now the other way to check is this one. When you highlight this one, it tells you that the x coordinate is 9, so we're at 9 and we're down at 3. So if I add 11 inches to 9, it will take me to 20. And sure enough, when I select this one, it's at 20 and 3. So let's highlight both squares. So you can see both are highlighted. And I just did that by clicking on one and then hitting the shift button and clicking on the next one. That will not work on a Mac. Okay, so you have these 2 highlighted. Let's go to duplicate. And that way it's 2 squares being duplicated. Put it kind of in the area. And again, go up here and go to position. It's at 9.167, so I want to be at 9. And then this is at 14.22, so I want to be at 14. And there you have it. And then let's duplicate again and get it to the bottom. And then we should be done with setting up the squares. So let's go to 9 and 25. Go upstairs. Sorry for the interruption. It's my daughter. Even though I told her I'm recording, go away. Okay, so now that we have the 6 squares, we can't get to our image, right? Because it's behind all these squares. So what you can do is you can scroll over on the right-hand side panel here, get to our cow. When you click on that, that image is now selected. You can go to Arrange and Send to the front. Okay, now that we're looking at this, what I'm looking for is making sure that when we slice this, that they're in big images, nothing's hanging loose by itself. And what I mean by that is, for instance, if I were to move this down and cut it right here, that means when I go to slice this section right here, I'm going to have this little tail hanging by itself. I don't want that. I want these to be in big, at most, oops, let me undo that. I want it to be basically 6 big pieces that I'm cutting. So let's move this up here. Let's just make sure that the tail is all one. And I think this is good the way it is. So in this top left-hand corner, it's basically the face, the top half of the face. Everything looks good. All right, if you remember slicing, you can only slice 2 images at one time. Our cow is one image, and each one of these squares is another image. So what you do is you take your cursor, and I'm just selecting the one square, and then touching the cow, and it will highlight the whole cow. And I know that I've only selected 2 images because slice is available. It's not grayed out. So let's click on slice. And now that is one piece. And that piece is 9.6 by 9.8, which my Cricut can cut. Okay, so let's go to the middle right here and let's slice that. And inevitably, this does it to me. Every time I do an off the mat, one of my images gets all funky. When this happens, it's just a glitch with Design Space. I just go to undo, because it shouldn't look funky like that. And then I'm just going to slice another area. So I'm going to slice the bottom corner right now. And usually that will work. And then I'll go back and I'll slice this middle one. So undo is our friend. Undo is always my friend. All right, let's do top right. And then the middle. And then the other trick that I have that I do is once this is all sliced up and you can see the grid lines, right? The cut marks, I move it all down and I keep it kind of in its order, because when I go and cut it on my Cricut and I'm piecing everything together, I don't have to think about where it goes. It may seem obvious, but I kid you not, I struggle with it every time. So here's our cow. This is the way it should go. Our results from slicing, we can highlight everything and just delete it. Now this cow is super easy because I know when we were looking at this earlier, we don't have to do anything with this. This is going to cut on one piece. So is this portion. But things like this, so this right now is 21 inches long and 4 inches high. What you want to do is I want to separate the image, and ungrouping is not an option. So I'm going to use contour. So when you contour, however many pieces you have, you need that number of images. So this is one set of the image. I'm going to go to duplicate. I now have 2. And let's contour the first one. So when you go to contour, I'm going to select this to gray it out. That means I'm keeping this left foot or hoof. And there it is. So now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to go to contour. And I want to gray out. I want to select this. Oh, sorry. I want to gray out this one. I'm going to select this one, gray out this one. So there, now I have 2 separate images. So now I can actually cut it. I can do this actually later on, right? And I think this will fit on a 12 by 12 cardstock, piece of cardstock, whereas before it wouldn't have, right? Okay, so that's that. Let's do that with this. This right now, if we were to send it to our Cricut to be cut, we would need to do a 12 by 24 piece of cardstock, and it would be such a waste, right? First of all, the 12 by 24 is expensive, and then you're also wasting all this space right here. All we need to do, again, because there's two pieces to this image, we need to duplicate so that we have 2 sets of this image, and then we go to contour, and you can contour here by just selecting this one to gray it out so we only have the left piece right there. And then we can also contour this way. You can contour over here. I like to use this, but because these 2 pieces are hard to tell which one's which, I'm going to deselect this one and keep the right image. Because sometimes they're not duplicate or reflective images. So if you make the mistake of picking the wrong one, it might not fit in your layout later. All right, so you have that. You have the eyes. Let's do the same thing. Now, I'm going to show you a different way to basically get the second image. And it's what we did with the big cow. We can slice. So if we go to shape and we get a square in, we can do this, and we could slice these two items. And let's get rid of the slicing results. But now the eyes are no longer attached, and so you could do it that way. Whichever way you're more comfortable with. I mean, I like, it just depends on when one is easier than the other. So here's another one. We can duplicate and contour, and I'm gonna leave the right one this time because it was right there, and then I want the left one this time. Contour, and let's scroll over. Can I scroll over? There. And gray this one out, so I have that one there. Okay, so those are that. All right, now we have left just this big white piece. So let's get these two pieces out of the way though. So let's duplicate one more time, and let's go to contour, and let's hide all contours, and it's keeping the one big body, which is fine because we're going to slice that later. Oh, but you know what's missing? Did you see this little cutout right here? So it's still there, contour. We need to add that piece into the image right there. And we also need to get these things here. And that's to make sure that it's going to slice properly. I mean, it's going to cut those little slits in. There, I think that's good. Yeah, so now it's complete. All right, so let's over here, let's get the eye and the ear one at a time. So I want this, and let's hide all contours, select this, hide this. So now it's just the ear that's left. And sure enough, there's my ear. And then let's get this little eye contour. Let's hide all contours. Let's select that eye and then gray that out. So now I just have the eye, and there it is. Okay, now we have this big piece right here that we need to work with. So let's bring in a triangle, and the reason why is because I kind of want to slice this tail and this corner as one piece. So I feel like the triangle is going to be easiest because that way I can get that line right there. Okay, so let's slice this and see what we get. Okay, so let's delete all our, oh, that was not good because it sliced right into a slit. So I'm sorry. Let's undo this really quickly. Undo until it's just our triangle again. And you know, this is a good learning opportunity. So let me move this. Oops, shoot. Undo one more time. Undo. Okay, here's our triangle. I want to make sure that I'll bring this image to the front. Okay, so arrange, send to front. So I can see now, and you can see the gray in the background now. So that's a little bit better. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit more. Get this triangle in a little bit more. There. Now I'm going to slice it. It's going to slice right through here. The slit will not be a problem. The tail is all going to be together. So let's highlight these two items and slice it. Let's get rid of our slicing results. Oh, I'm just going to want to shoot myself. It's still too big. It's 11.6 by 13.6. Okay, undo. Let's undo again. I mean, this is all good because if you had done it you would be stuck, or hopefully you would be able to figure it out also. All right, so here we are back at the same image. You know what? I'm going to go get my handy dandy square, and let's just do this top half over here. Let's do the face. Let's make this really big. Let's make this 11 by 11 so that we know we can cut it. And basically that would be, let's bring the cow to the front. So what I'm cutting is this piece. I think it's a good cut. Let's duplicate the square a few times. So that we don't have to keep going over there and adding this square. Okay, and let's just move it over here, because we'll get to that when we slice. Okay, so let's move this like so. Okay, I just want to make sure everything is in this. I don't want a little piece of the, so you know what, I could make this square 11.5, right? I didn't do that earlier because I hate dealing with with a ½ inch and trying to use the position and adding that half. But with this, I want to, I just didn't want to slice off a little tip here or the ear. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's do that. Let's slice it. So now we have this piece here. Let's get rid of the slicing results. All right, so now we have another square. Let's do 11.5 again. And let's see what we can cut out. This face isn't going to work. I mean, we're going to have to cut up the face a little bit for sure. Maybe right there, and just know that this is coming through. And it's okay because look it. Let me bring this to the front. That cut right there is going to be covered almost completely by this face, by this little piece. So I'm okay with that. Let's just cut this. Oops. And did you see? Okay, let me do that again. I couldn't slice it because when I looked up, I have highlighted this piece over here, this square, and also this body. That's 3 pieces, so you can't slice 3 items at one time. So let's highlight these 2 things and let's slice it. All right, so now we have this. Let's get rid of our slicing results. Okay, so now we still have, what is that? What did I leave there? There's a piece hanging out right here. I'm just going to get rid of it later. Okay, so now let's make this 11.5. And let's slice this bottom part. So that's 1 piece. That tail is going to have to be by itself. There's nothing that we can do. This piece will be by itself too. Okay. So let's slice this piece. Okay. Let's get rid of this. What is this up here? Okay, so I'm going to go to contour really quickly, and I'm going to get rid of that piece that's hanging right here. I don't know what that is, but let's get rid of that there. Okay, so now we have this. Let's duplicate this image and contour this. So duplicate, go to contour, and let's save that piece as 1. So that's that we still need to slice. And then this one, we're going to contour and save that upper piece, right? So we're going to hide that. Let's hide all contours and see what that does. And we want that there. Okay, so that's all done. Now we just have this piece that is 10 by 13. So it's definitely the tail that's taking it over. So let's just do this right here. Highlight these two items, slice, and there. Now everything should be less than 11.5 by 11.5. Oops, let me get rid of this. Let me get at this triangle. All right, we're ready to cut. So let's actually save this. So cute cow 30 inches. And let's go to make it. And our last step here before we cut is I try to, oh my goodness, there's still an image that's too big. Did I miss this? Okay, so let's cancel. Did I forget? This is 11.5, so that's not too big. Okay, let me see over here if it tells me. That's so weird. Everything, unless it's this piece and it's saying, but we should be able to cut 11.5. Let's go to make it and see what it says. This is interesting. It is bigger than 11.5, but we can trick our mat because that's 11.5. We're going to put 12 by 12 on here, so it will cut. You just need to use your larger mat, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to just select OK. And so when I cut this mat, I'm going to use a 12 by 24 mat. I'm going to move this one down because this will be its own 12 by 12 cardstock on the bottom half of the mat. This will be the top half, and I think it's fine. So let's see what else we can consolidate. So this will be one mat to get together. Let's see if there's any smaller pieces. Okay, nothing we can do there. That's a pretty big piece. That's a pretty big piece. These pieces, though, can be moved to the other mats. So let's move this. And let's move it to this one. There, that fits. Let's go back here. And because I use glitter cardstock, I find this an important part of my process, is I'm trying to consolidate everything. Because glitter cardstock makes these images so much nicer. And so it's worth using, but it is expensive or more expensive. So I try to consolidate my cardstock pages or my images. Okay, so that is almost done. We have one more piece to move. So when you're moving this, you select the image and then click on these three dots, move to another mat. The current mat is grayed out because you're already there, but we need to move it to another mat. So let's see if it will fit here. This may take a little bit of work. Yeah, it's not going to fit there. So let's move it again, move to another mat. Let's see if I can fit you somewhere else. I feel like I can do it. It's a big piece, so I don't think it's going to fit here, but let's just see. Will it fit up there? It's not, but let's see if we can move this around. Almost. Okay, that fits there. Can I get this to fit in here? I can. Perfect. Okay, so I saved one whole sheet. Yay me. All right, here's the black one. I might just, okay, so the way it was right here is this would take a little bit over 4 inches by 3. But what's nice is I think I can flip this over and you're going to say like, was that really a big deal? It's not, but kind of is for your next project, because if I can get this over, then now it's exactly under 4 inches. So I have this perfect piece of black glitter cardstock later to use that is just minus this little square up here, or rectangle. Okay, let's go to this pink. I mean, here, if you already have it, maybe like this, that's fine. Or if you have another piece to do, this is fine also. Nothing that we can do here. The brown can definitely be consolidated. So let's move this to the other mat. And let's go back here and move this last piece over. So not only am I going to move it over, but I'm also going to see if I can save some space for another cut later down the road. So I try to get all this up here. Right, so next time I have what, 3 inches by 12, like a more usable piece than the way it was before. And I feel like I could do more, but we're not going to. All right, here's this light brown, this one. The only thing I would do with these is maybe just move it to the corner so that, next time I have more here. Same thing with this one. That one's already in the corner. Like this one, if I put it in the middle, it's hard to use all this other space, but if I use it here, then maybe this will be easier for next time. Nothing there. Nothing there that we can do. All right, I think we're done. The only thing I want to just take another peek at is this white. Yeah, nothing that we can do. All right, I think we're ready. So we're going to continue, and I'm going to cut this piece up, and I will take pictures and post it on my Instagram so you can follow the Useless Crafter on Instagram. And I'll see you later. Thanks for joining.